pochi problemi tecnici perché aveva deciso che non voleva aprirsi, ma non genesi. Perché no, non voglio sentire le goccioline e tutto, per quanto sia dolcino, ma no. Dov'è il gruppo? Qua. Sì. Ok. Perfetto. Oh, finalmente ci possiamo godere in santa pace questa quest di Navia, che ieri non sono riuscita a farla. Cioè, perché volevo andare là, ma ero veramente stanca, non è che ero cotta di più, ero veramente cotta. Ah, è vero, c'è anche l'evento. Sì, una roba alla volta, visto che devo prendere Navia. Non mi... No, voglio fare... Voglio fare questa. Accetta missione. Dopo, Paimon, giuro che ci andiamo a vedere l'evento, non adesso. Cos'è arrivato per posta? Ah, il compleanno di Dori, che carina. Che dolciosa. E quante cose tutte insieme. No, voglio Navia. Non so perché ho letto la corte di fontanine. Ok.
Well, if it isn't my dear partners.
Ciao amore mio, così subito. Amore, quanto sei bella, vieni a casa.
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today. Are you headed somewhere?
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
Pochon?
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of.
Ovviamente.
Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster.
Giusto.
Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson.
Quindi ho dovuto vedere spesso nubilette. Spero abbiamo discusso bene in privato.
Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well. Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date.
Ok,
Though
lecito.
just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
Lecito.
Whoa! Spoken like a true president. You're a really responsible leader. That must be taking up most of your time, though, right?
Oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, I'm always forgetting one thing or another.
E va bene.
So before I came over this time, I took a page from Malus's book and decided to make a list of everything. And then, since Malus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That does sound like you, all right. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, wanna take a look?
Let Paimon see. Wait, there's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols. This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other one...
Scatola, scusami.
Is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
No, l'oggetto no. Però standard, sì.
Thank you for your advice. these are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've
Madonna,
tried
che
them out
gambe che c'è
yourself.
sta donna.
I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand when I came up with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them later. Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Well, now you know for next time.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of most of the things on the list. There are still a few symbols that I can't decipher, but I don't think they're anything
Navia.
too super important. Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Sì.
Ah, so
però-
you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, wanna come with me and
Sono
check out the
stata,
town
mi
for
sembra
yourself?
cambiata più di tanto. Poi
You
sarò
said you
io.
don't have any plans, right? So we can just catch a boat and head over. It won't take long at all.
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, traveler?
Più per stoccare.
Then let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Devo davvero
Oh,
prenderla? Spero
sorry.
di no.
I meant our own boat. The aquabus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so we'll use one of the Spina's boats.
Ah, guarda,
All right,
andiamo.
follow me. I'll take you there.
Devo ancora provarla, Navia. È questo che mi fa ridere. Vabbè, andiamo appena mi fermo. Appena. Ma che bella.
The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks. We can head out as soon as we get the green light.
Ok.
Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 aquabus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
Oh, che cosa carina. Pensavo fosse una coincidenza, invece no.
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson? Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat
È
just
una
to go
barca
home.
apposita,
Paimon
signor.
doesn't get it.
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub. So there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson.
Ok.
You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The aquabus is so convenient. It's really a
L'ho
huge
usato una volta.
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often struggled to figure out what was going on in his head.
Beh, sono d'accordo sul fatto che magari... Abbiamo... Non ce l'ho ancora, no? Sono triste. Meglio concedere una cosa tanto importante, non aspettasse soltanto a lui. Forse essere la spina non vedeva la necessità di avere una 4ª linea. Secondo me anche il fatto, cioè credo che Callas ascoltasse il parere di tutti. Ha detto "Oh, vabbè, basta".
But that would only
No,
be the
niente.
case if he cared about what others thought. My
No,
father
deve
was
stare
always
buona sta
really
cosa, però.
stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good
Scusate il
luck
glitch.
getting him to change it.
Intanto
From what
la...
I've heard, the rights of all the
scheda
other
fa
members
il
of the Spina only
calcolone.
went as far as giving him advice or suggestions, and no farther. That included my mother, too.
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just...
Cavolo, Yuki e Navia sembrano
Not very
d'accordissimo.
agreeable.
Cioè, non tanto per il
Boss, the
papà.
boat's ready. We can head out.
All right, then let's head out.
Affrontando insieme le maree. Oddio,
It'll be a
come...
while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Beh, certo, vuoi stare in
Navia,
silenzio.
what was your mother like as a person? Oh, I'm sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her.
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws.
Vabbè,
My
almeno ha avuto
father
dei
would run the
genitori
businesses
dolci.
and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the Spina could grow and thrive.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, But those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or intimate picture of her. But sometimes I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the spina and poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning. So, I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them and must continue to keep moving, the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward.
Che domande di... Certo, la pena di... Ti mancano. Cioè,
But no matter what, we can't change the past. But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so many obstacles. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up.
Work tall, Navia. Work tall.
Ah, we've reached the shore. Let's go. I'll show you the new poisson.
Avrò camminato sulla spiaggia vicino al poisson per 2 volte.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right?
Sta affrontando un lutto. Starà bene. Non adesso, ma sta affrontando cose. Cioè, si tiene impegnata e tutto.
Okay, Paimon supposes you're right. She's really been through a lot. It couldn't have been easy shouldering so much by
Ha bisogno
herself.
di tempo e di amici al suo fianco. Tu questo ha bisogno, Navia. Non cominciate a dire magari possiamo fare qualcosa. State lì a fianco. Andiamo a provare Navia. Sono proprio gemme dopo tutto. Madonna santa, che male che fa. Vabbè, la sua che è bella, che è nell'arma. Ok, tutto quello nuovo. C'ha il suo nome scritto sopra. Mamma mia. Aspetta, non ho visto una cosa. 67 metri neanche male. Non fare la figa. Navia? Grazie. Allora, ho i 3 cose. Se faccio questo... solo uno. Ah, ok, lì. Carico i proiettili. Va bene. Ma anche lei che calcia sta cavolo di Clever. E se arriva più... Mamma mia.
Your life is mine. Give up. I'm going in. Attack! That's the way.
E non ha crittato. Mi fa molto piacere. Mi ha fatto un 105 nella prova. Mamma mia. 105k, mamma mia, Navia. Hanno proprio detto, sai cosa, vogliamo rendere la rotta. Lo vedo. Andiamo da Ayaka, che ancora una volta, per quanto la volessi, purtroppo Navia ha la priorità. Vediamo, anche lei l'hanno fatta rottissima. 57.
A blade and
Adesso non parlare, giustamente. Sul ghiaccio.
You can't run.
Infatti l'hanno messa con rosaria.
Embrace the ice.
So che c'è la rotazione, ma visto che la prova non voglio.
Enhanced animal module 75 punishment. My apologies.
Ma che bella aria.
Take flight. Sakura swirl.
So benissimo che non la sto utilizzando al meglio delle sue possibilità, ma
Swirl, Mark 2. My apologies. Shiver.
no, dai.
Kamisato art. Sometsu. Take flight.
Ok. Ho provato. $92, vabbè. E voglio tanto Navia, sono anche consapevole che se non prendo Navia prenderò corrende. Diciamo che cerco di vederlo in questo modo. Per non stare troppo male il fatto che potrei prendere Navia. Sniff. Poi ovvio, spero sempre nella. Salve signore.
Boss, you're back! Traveler in Paimon!
Quello
Welcome
che
back to
poverino.
Poisson!
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it
Florent.
your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without
Ciao,
any
Nash.
attendance. We did hand over some of Malus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to fill.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now.
Quello sì.
Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
La statua. Che
Yeah, we
statua?
contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without knowing the design that we want to use first.
You're commissioning a statue?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of
Oh, dai, che
everything
cosa
they've done
carina.
for the Spina
Ci sta.
and the town of Poisson.
Molto
But
bellina questa
since my
cosa.
father was known as callously unfaithful for the longest time, it would have been too controversial to commission a statue of him. But now that his name has been cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt, I thought this would be the perfect chance to actually realize this dream.
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson to show their appreciation for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callis and everything.
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble.
Che non è vero. Sono io Navia.
Maybe we can have this conversation again in a few
Qualche
decades,
decennio, sono
once I've
esattamente
done
io.
more for the town and the people.
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this,
Volare
I
in
might just
cielo.
float off into the sky with my parasol.
Per i poppi.
Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minute. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think I'm ready yet.
Dai,
Anyway,
dai.
Florent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
Mm-hmm. We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callis. But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
Vediamo come avete
There's no
posato
need for
queste
all
due
that.
persone.
Let's decide on a design right now. Hey, you! Come over here with me.
Come? Cosa? Ti devo abbracciare? Beh, arrivo subito.
Modeling a few poses, of course. Here, just pretend to be
Ma
Callis,
sono
and I'll be
letteralmente una
Clementine.
vigor sole. Tu sei...
Didn't you say on the boat that Callis and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill this role than my most valuable partner.
Navia, sei una rufiana.
Florent, let's grab some reference shots.
You've got it, boss. I'll go get the camera.
Ma come... Ma potevi prendere un ometto? Non
Well,
io.
what do you think? Got any ideas?
Ma devi essere tu.
Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. So, I want to pick your brain for a bit and see if you can come up with some new and
non lo
interesting
so.
ideas.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
Maestoso. No, è sempre la stessa, sempre lei. Magari adesso è un po' meno tesa e un po' più calma, il fatto che adesso le cose sono un po' più tranquille, visto che durante la conquista era un continuo moriremo tutti. Quindi adesso magari è un po' più rilassata, ci può stare. La cosa è maestoso, una posa sopra l'orizzonte. Allora, le prime due non mi piacciono assolutamente, per un semplicissimo motivo. La Carlos sì, magari era maestoso, però sua madre era molto semplice. Verso l'orizzonte sì, però per guardare avanti, però credo che vorremmo avere Navia felice, vorremmo che lei ricordasse i genitori in modo felice.
A happy pose? You mean something like
Non era,
we were laughing together at a
non
funny
era
joke?
questo che intendevo.
Would all that be able to come through with just a picture?
Non intendevo
Would we
quello.
even be able to tell what they are supposed to be laughing about?
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to
Could one of you try striking a pose like you're talking while the other one laughs?
Ma non era questo che intendevo.
That actually sounds pretty hard to pull off. Forget it,
Ma
let's try
no.
something else.
Non era. Vabbè, quale devo scegliere, Genshin? Allora, lo sguardo perso verso l'orizzonte?
Ah, by that, do you mean as if we were standing on a
Che
boat
magari
and looking out at the
fa
sea?
capire, guardare avanti,
Sure,
robe
let's
varie.
give that a try.
Whoa, you really remind Paimon of a captain and their first mate. Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every tree on that island is dripping with mora fruit.
Poi,
But there's something off with the composition.
Florence,
This pose makes Mr. Callis look too tall next to the lady.
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.
cioè, Clementine
Wait.
così.
But we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat. This statue is meant to be placed in the town.
But then, since we're putting it in the town, the whole point of the pose would be lost.
Ora non ti va bene niente, però.
Okay. We'll try to think of something else.
In che senso?
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
This pose! It makes me recall Spina di Rosula's glorious golden age.
But
A
isn't
me
Clementine's
piaceva
pose a bit
guardo
too
verso
bold
l'orizzonte.
and heroic? Was she really that kind of person? If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually
Cosa
the real
vuol
boss behind the
dire?
scenes.
Well,
Minchia, quante
tabloids
pare.
did indeed speculate as much back in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings and made both the report and the journalist
Ma non si fa.
disappear.
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
Secondo te?
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias.
Ah,
You're
ok.
right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her
Vabbè,
in our
non andavano
hearts.
bene nessuna di quelle,
Let's try
grazie
to
al
come up with
Signore.
something else.
Ma da... Va bene.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them
Dai,
sound
è
right.
da sola,
There's a lot of
iPad.
creatures now, too.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a souvenir in their own right. Let's just keep the ideas we tried as backups. Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the Traveler, I would have prepared a lot of outfits and props ahead of time. Oh, outfits! Ugh, that's the errand I forgot back in the city. Do either of you still remember that
una
girl?
ragazza.
The girl I went to see with you two.
La tipa.
Her name is Adele.
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
Ah, ma mi stai dicendo cose, Navia, non la ricordo. Cioè, magari per la dico,
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after the case,
Fianella,
she was finally
mamma
willing
mia.
to talk to me. And she told me that she wanted to join the Spina too.
Oh,
I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years,
una
and then
bambina,
we'll
ok.
welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently. But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? In the end, I came up with an idea. I'd have a Spina uniform made and give it to her as a gift. But
no.
I got so busy and distracted
penserà
in
di
the
far
city
parte
that I
veramente
forgot to
della
pick
Spina
the
di Rosula,
uniform up. So I did forget something important after all.
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick it up right away.
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few more ideas for the design. I'll have to trouble you to source some for me.
Io mi immagino sta bambina che appena riceve l'uniforme della spina di Rosula va in giro, i suoi mechetti, no, è inutile, adesso non potete più bullizzarmi, sono la spina di Rosula che farà sparire e niente. Magari mi richiamo.
We could have just done that from the start.
Delle belle foto, sì, è stato divertente.
You're right. They'll have some value as souvenirs at least.
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Soltanto questa è la voce di un cattivo di Any Quest.
But aren't you supposed to...
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the fortress of Meravigliosa?
Possiamo portarglielo di nuovo.
That's right. I finally finished serving my time. Gotta say, turns out I was a lot tougher than I thought. After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar, briny smell became a primal call, urging me to forget everything else and just come back home. You wouldn't believe how much I missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time I had to get a welfare meal down there underneath the sea.
It's good to have you back, Coulter. You look as well as ever.
And this guy is?
Ah, let me introduce you. This is Coulter,
quello.
another of Spina di Rosula's members. He was found guilty and sentenced to the fortress of Meravigliosa some time, but looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots while he worked at the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Ah,
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What do you mean? He was involved in some sort of plot?
è vero, non lo sa
Have you not
niente.
heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously receded. I thought that was all there was to it, and didn't
Cioè,
care
no.
to ask for any more details.
Non proprio,
You
non
mean
proprio Marcel.
Mr.
però.
Marcel was somehow involved with all that?
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. That case.
È successo di
A
tutto.
lot of things have happened in Poisson since then.
Di tutto.
First things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my most trusted partners, and they've been with me through thick and thin.
Siamo dei
Now
VIP.
you could
Che
call them
novità.
Spina di Rosula's VIP helpers.
VIP.
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before. So you must be pretty amazing to get that from her.
Yeah, we are indeed pretty
Merito di
amazing.
Paimon, no.
But we've
Quanto
been
le
cool
voglio.
since before we even met her.
Humble again as always, I see. Even when I was totally sincere with my praise.
Ha detto che
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me. Where are Malus and Silver? Aren't they always by your side?
About that.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see, even Poisson isn't quite the same as how it was before you left.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid welcome home prank, right? You're just scaring me on purpose because
No, dai, ci è
I
rimasto
don't know anything about
malissimo.
what's happened.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Oh,
They
no.
weren't the only people we lost either. Many others, including Melissa, also lost their lives in the disaster.
Luce and Melissa, dead. They're just gone.
Sì, mi dispiace che tu
Luce.
Che brutta cosa
I was
tornare.
planning
No,
to give
sono
him a
morti tutti.
surprise gift once I ran into him again in town. I can't believe it.
Hey, keep it together.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina. I can understand how he feels.
Lo capisco anche io, cioè che
Let's sit down somewhere, so I can tell you everything that has happened while you were gone. Fair warning, there was...
Poverino, mi
a
dispiace
lot.
un botto.
Okay.
Cioè lui torna, tutto contento. Dai, che bello, contento si è salvato. Posso riparare con i miei amici. Oh, non... No. Perché, niente. Hanno fatto ma proprio male. Si sono sciolti. Come? L'hanno detto in maniera un po' più dolce. Ti sto cercando di sdrammatizzare perché comunque... Io comunque durante quelle scene ho letteralmente pianto e c'è una live con me. C'è prova e tutto. Cioè, mamma mia, era una cosa allucinante. Anche perché comunque... A tutti?
All of this. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that those stories were real. It all really happened.
E beh,
Has the world gone mad?
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss. And the sheer depravity of Marcel's actions.
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. Everything he had,
l'ha
the Spina
sfruttata.
gave to him.
l'ha
It's
sfruttata.
unconscionable to have received all that, and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve you for his insane research.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabrières is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing and distribution network. We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeu.
E che è Romeo? Che sto Romeo?
Romu?
Romu? Come si pronuncia?
Not a name I've heard before either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the aquabus lines.
Sapevo che la
Romeu was the
costruzione
leader
sugli
of the
autobus era
faction that
casuale.
thought such a vast sum of mora would be better spent improving the town of Poisson. But Mr. Callis believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the court of Fontaine and the
Aveva
Fontaine
ragione
Research
Callas, per
Institute
me.
was hard to come by, and would allow us to build many valuable relationships. Not only would the aquabus be a good business investment, it would also
giusto.
boost our reputation
Sono
among the general
assolutamente d'accordo.
populace, eventually paying us massive dividends down the line. But the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spino di Rosula altogether, and the split was on extremely bad terms.
Ugh. And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone down.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help in the least.
Yeah, you could say it was the price he paid for sticking to his beliefs.
Oh, that's a good point. If Callis was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have argued with the rank and file all the time?
Se non ci fosse stato
Oh
questo
yeah,
litigio.
it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia, I mean, boss, you might not know this, but he wasn't always like that. He used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice, and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side, it was pretty smooth sailing for a good many years. But on the matter of the aquabus, Even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr. Callus's side.
Perché di per sé avevano ragione.
I never knew. But from my perspective, Romeo's position had a
Cioè,
lot
potevano
going
trovare un
for it.
accordo tutti e due,
Couldn't
fare
they have
sia
sat down
la...
and talked it out?
I think the
L'aquabus
aquabus was just
che...
the straw that broke the camel's back. On that topic, they eventually came to a rather radical conclusion. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial mediator when she became pregnant with
Sì, ma
Callus's
mo, è
child.
sempre colpa del fatto che è
So-
incinta.
They thought she had betrayed
Mo
them?
adesso.
But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mother was also her own person. And a member of the
Che è
spina.
incinta, non è
She
che
should have the
una
right
donna
to take
incinta
any
smette di
side she
pensare.
wished.
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. They felt
Oddio.
like their voices could no longer be heard once their
L'ho
sole
visto.
mediator had gone over to the other
Tramite-
side.
L'ho visto tramite mia sorella. Perché giustamente ha avuto un nipote, quindi... Cioè, mi ha fatto avere un nipote, quindi... mi ha fatto diventare zia, più che altro. Ma comunque, a prescindere, la donna non è che quando rimane incinta, pum, smetti di pensare, tutto il resto. Non mi sembra... Adesso Clementine purtroppo non lo conosciamo, sentiamo solo dai ricordi e dalle parole degli altri, ma per l'idea che mi sono fatta adesso di Clementine, probabilmente pensava che fosse era meglio prima investire sulle relazioni con la corte di Fontaine, poi dopo sarebbe stata la conseguenza di quei rapporti amichevoli per far prosperare Poisson e poi prosperare un posto in cui è in un buco di alghe, ok, in realtà è anche sotto un relitto, insomma è interessante, ma non è un posto comodo, quindi secondo me potevano raggiungere un accordo facendo sia la funivia, vabbè, l'aquabus, tutta la cosa lì. Hanno appena detto, mi ricordo già più come si chiama, e di conseguenza poi andare avanti, cioè potevano già mettersi d'accordo, noi dobbiamo fare questo per fare in modo che la relazione di noi con la corte di Fontaine possa andare avanti, e fin qua siamo tutti d'accordo. E ne creiamo di nuovo, abbiamo magari più sponsor, che culo, possiamo essere costanti in buoni rapporti che addirittura ci aiuteranno a far prosperare Poisson. Secondo me è questo, però secondo me si sono separati a caso, cioè, poi ribadisco, Madonna incinta non è che smetti di pensare, può avere un pochino di problematiche per gli ormoni, per robe, per eccetera, per la stanchezza, perché insomma portare avanti una gravidanza non è facile. Però adesso addirittura dire non sa più decidere dipende dal carattere della persona. Ho visto cose allucinanti con le donne incinte, ma di per sé, cioè, la non è che smette di pensare, anzi a volte pensa troppo. Cioè adesso addirittura ci ha traditi perché era incinta, mi sembra esagerato.
Of course, Miss Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callus began to regard the completion of the Aquabus project as her final wish.
Beh, lei
With
che deve
that, the
fare,
last hope
povero?
of reconciliation was
Cioè,
gone.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeo and his people cut ties with the Spina.
Vabbè,
And never
dai.
gave us any kind of professional or personal courtesy ever again. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no
Questo è
proof
vero.
that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
I think Porter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeo had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeo's whereabouts. If they're still
Sto
trying
qua,
to get
lasciato
revenge on us,
andare, sto
with how
in
distracted
vacanza.
and vulnerable we are, now would be the best time.
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times. I'll let my men know right away.
Secondo me sto qua sta cercando di mettersi in
Thank you
piedi
for
e
that,
ci sta proprio
Florent.
pensando a quella
And
cosa.
Coulter.
Credo.
Thank you.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? How about we go out for a walk?
Ok.
I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down even now. I mean, to think
Lui
that
mi
I'll just
dispiace un botto,
never
ritorna
see
e si
them
trova
again.
metà posso morta.
In that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. It'll save Laurent's guys a trip. Want to come with me again, you two? You don't mind, do you, Coulter?
Oh, of course. That's fine by me.
Then let's go.
Ok.
Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this visit.
We really are the best of
Guarda,
partners.
basta che non vai in dire
Come
ai
on,
suoi
let's
amichetti che provate a bullizzarmi la spina di Rosula, vi farà sparire, magari meglio di no. Devo proprio uscire. Cioè devo proprio andare alla nevetta. Aspetta, visto che non c'ho voglia di camminare e voglio fare un po' in fretta, che comunque queste sono molto lunghe per motivi giusti, tranne agli inizi. Alcune agli inizi erano veramente corte, dicevano il giusto, finiva il domain, buona lì. Vediamo il culo di Palio, che cosa buona e giusta.
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like
Prego
a
tu,
hiking
non
trip.
andiamo al cimitero.
Once we're there, we...
Ah no, vuole proprio fare una passeggiata.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Ribadisco, non è in un posto molto comodo Posson. Secondo me potevano investire molto prima. Poi vabbè, è successo per carità. Momento tragico ancora. Cioè tragico, momento più che altro.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my work down in the fortress was quite the workout.
Non lo sappiamo, abbiamo fatto per
I don't think
45
you're doing
giorni.
great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods, then catch a boat to the court. Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass, and when we were hungry, we'd catch a fish or two. The spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callis was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich. So, of course, we all worked really hard. And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen into disuse.
Esatto, non è una cosa negativa, cioè questa strada è stata distrutta.
Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh, is this another chance to try
Macaron,
some of Navia's
macaron, fammi
I'm
sognare la
dreaming
notte.
of them.
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no
Giganti,
to a
va
few
bene.
more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and Silver used to take care of tasks like this.
Vabbè, imparerai a farlo.
Okay, the stove's looking good. And as for the ingredients,
Oh no, sono io
seems
veramente.
like we're all out of flour and sugar.
Ce li ho,
The two most
ce li ho, non
important
devo andare lì a
ingredients of all.
prenderli, ce li ho.
Oh, would you? Oh, but it would be
Io
too
già
much to
qui.
ask.
We should contribute to making the macaron too. Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so she should have some stuff on hand.
Oh,
mi dà la
that's
ricetta.
great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long as we have some sweet flowers and
Ho
wheat,
anche quelli.
I...
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for a makeshift table and chairs.
Va
Great.
bene.
Then I'll prep the stove.
Ma no, te le posso dare io. Ok, grazie. Gli posso...
Ah, how did it go?
Ma beh, sì, vabbè, ho abbastanza cose per tutti. Care. Possiamo farne 3 milioni di macaroni.
You've all done your part. Just
Un gran numero di macaroni, va bene.
Whoa, these macarons look and taste magnificent! Your cooking is as good as ever, Navia.
Boss's baking skills have
No,
always been
bellissimo.
famous. Everyone in the
Meravigliosa.
spina knows how exceptionally talented she is.
oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need to praise me for it like that.
Have you two seriously never
macaroni
considered
adesso.
joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts you with all her heart, so... I see. Is that why you have to always stay
Non
on the
solo
road?
per quello, stiamo cercando il mio fratello scomparso.
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been
Cioè,
quite a while
il
since we last
scomparso
spent
non
time
è...
together.
Ma non sappiamo dove...
Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down. Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite sides of the world.
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's
Delle
macaron.
torte, comunque.
I
cioè, non solo
understand now.
macaroni.
Then I am very lucky indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you. I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter, and enjoy every moment we spend together.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water, in celebration of this moment.
Non me l'ha apprezza. Chi è? Chi è? Chi è che sta robanando?
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick!
May your travels
Scusa,
go
stavo-
smoothly. May the spina continue to grow. And may our friendship last until the end of time. All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
Mancava la musica abbastanza di Fontaine.
Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
The demoiselle of Spina de Rosula. I must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going
Oh,
bankrupt.
meno male.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. Oh, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her demoiselle.
Che palle.
Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running
Perché
errands
non avevo
around here.
occupate.
I didn't expect demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Questo e...
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Vuoi tirare quante
The
volte
boss has got a point.
Non
Going
neanche
on a trip
tanto.
with friends is always better
Una
than
volta
staying
settimana
cooped up
per
at home.
disinfettare le cose che uso di
Very
più in
well.
casa.
Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform for you.
Il Covid mi ha dato una bella e
Can
brutta
someone remind
abitudine.
Paimon again why Adele wants to
Anche
join the
perché
Spina?
all'inizio ero ossessionata. Adesso sono
She
un po'
hasn't given me
calmata.
any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up to me. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows
Vabbè,
for
c'ha
sure that her
ragione,
father was
scusami.
never a bad person. She said she used to be terrified of Papa, so as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well. But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her. Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
Sì, ma... Allucinazioni uditive.
Is something up, traveler?
Sì, c'è qualcuno che ci sta seguendo e non mi piace.
Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Ui,
Have them too. They headed up.
fammi
Stop
andare.
right there!
Vabbè, quanto veloci. Guarda che ti prendo. Guarda che ti prendo.
We knew you were going to be difficult.
Mi ha superato
Seems like
addirittura.
if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a lesson first.
Ah, benissimo.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore. Let's take them out!
Martine sarebbe? Oh, sì. No, ho sbagliato. Allora.
Coming at ya!
Che queste andarmi illegale. Donna santa.
This one's got your
Dove
name
hai
on it.
mirato, mio amore? Giusta domanda,
Attack!
È
That's the way.
bellissimo. È meravigliosa. Lo
Now,
adoro.
talk. Who are you? And why were you tailing us?
Madonna, impestati.
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
Abbiamo contato a qualunque livello. Non mi lei?
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
No, stiamo benissimo.
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you were sorely mistaken. Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula. We were discovered.
Stanno imparando comunque a fare gli
Can't beat
occhi,
you in a fight.
anche gli NPC.
We admit it. We lost.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name?
Oh, non
But
fa
if you
niente.
do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much.
Conti a me.
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day.
Questa è la vostra idea di
Too
vendetta,
bad you guys
bravissimi.
messed up ours first. Huh? You're pretty sharp. But so what?
È che sono
We didn't
sveglia,
do
t'ho
anything.
sentito.
And now it should be
Coglione.
pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway. Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
Minchia, dire che l'avrebbe
Listen.
ammazzati.
Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew.
Perché adesso
I
continuare?
am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
Poi se lo rifate io
I
vi
understand.
denuncio.
Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
But
Almeno.
if you so much as think about pulling something like this again,
Comprensibile, quello che
I
ho detto
won't
io.
be so
Questa
lenient
volta
next
passa,
time.
prossima volta no.
understood?
All right. We get it. Come on, let's go.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
Per ora sì.
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. Moreover, when it comes to the aquabus, I don't think what my father did
Sì,
was
poteva
entirely
trovare un
correct either.
accordo invece che
If the
troncare
other side is
rapporti.
willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation.
Sono d'accordo.
Opportunities for new beginnings are all around us.
Ma perché ribadisco, sono d'accordo sul fatto, cioè, ero d'accordo, come ho detto prima, sul fatto di Caldas, che voleva avere rapporti con la corte di Fontaine, quindi costruendo le linee di Aquabus, che comunque sono utili, cioè, servono, e voleva dare il nome su sua moglie di Sofia. Va benissimo, però troncare allo stesso tempo i rapporti, perché uno voleva pensare anche, cioè voleva prosperare Poisson, solo, cioè, potevano fare tutte e due con un buon accordo, cioè, sono delle idee che, come dice Navia, se avessero parlato forse invece di accanirsi.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's spina di Rosula.
Bravo coltellazzo.
Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk. I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeo's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already. So why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow. I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Cendre again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same though, so I've long since gotten used to it. We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks though. Bet you there'll be people singing.
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing too.
Che dov'è? Ah, giù. Ah. E che non sa, mi ricordava assolutamente che avesse un numero del genere. Io lo chiamavo la seconda casa di Navia.
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep, and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm... You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
I was just kidding. Be on your way now.
Calmati, Paimon. Dio mio, l'ho sentito da mo' che stava scherzando. Dove mi siedo? Qua? Mi siedo qua? Oh, che bello.
Yeah. Hello? Are you asleep yet?
Navia?
Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest.
Sono pronta.
Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Non volevo pescare, ma ok.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything. Don't worry. You don't have to do any actual fishing if you're too tired. Just think of it as keeping me company. How does that sound?
No, mi vedete pescare.
Okay, let's go. To the fishing spot.
Ma per davvero fai finta? Navia? 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 Devo davvero pescare? Oh, relax.
When you're using a fully automatic rod.
Oh,
What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, you know, attentively watching the
no,
float
è la
and
classica
then
pesca alle
excitedly
carpe.
reeling
Non
in the
stai
catch
lì.
when you finally hook something?
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, traveler?
L'automazione forse no, però...
Then let's try regular rods next time. We can have a real fishing competition.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just
Sto
thinking
guardando
about how
solo le tue
grateful
gambe,
I am
Navia,
to my
scusami,
mother.
neanche qualcos'altro.
As
Però.
well as, my father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say. My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant.
Ma dai.
No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over
Cioè, va bene
trivial
sgridarla
matters was
magari per
pointless,
cose importanti, ma
because he
saranno
eventually
cavolate.
stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Malus come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you,
Beh, di
the more
piccola
you should care about
hai
doing the right
imparato, va
thing
bene.
to the best of your abilities.
Va bene
Because
così.
if you do falter... Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up.
Puoi
I wasn't
confidarti
planning to
con
talk
me.
about sad things tonight. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Oh,
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes
sì,
of the
deve essere...
past.
Proprio dobbiamo essere
I want
sperati,
to be
almeno
reasonable,
cerchiamo di
at least.
parlarne prima.
Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line.
Ed è un calzino.
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods together. We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch it.
Alla fine abbiamo fatto quello manuale.
You want Paimon to help too?
Che cosa abbiamo preso? Dinosauro, in realtà.
You didn't attach a hook to your line?
No, ma sono veramente io. Sono veramente
Stop wasting
io.
time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Perché sta parlando con il nostro
If
amico?
we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Probably can't keep her eyes open anymore.
All right,
Santo
go
cielo.
to bed. I had a great time today.
C'è del
See you
bordello adesso, lo
tomorrow.
dico io.
Ah, so how was last night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Voglio parlare con tuo
Paimon
amico
dreamt
però.
that she danced with the sea stars, so you could.
Huh.
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
See, this guy gets it.
Sì, l'abbiamo capito anche noi.
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Ho la canna da pesca da mettere nel teapot. Che carina. Dove devo andare? Bravo lui. No, volevo scendere in picchiata.
Adele, we're back. We brought you a gift from the court too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss.
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift, I've also got another surprise. Guess who's here?
Ok,
It's been a while.
capito.
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on
Anche le
Shock's
poverine
case.
erano state cattive.
I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
You're really amazing. And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing
Ma
too.
lei è amazing.
What's in this thing? Can I look?
Of course. Go ahead.
Che carina.
Oh, it's a Spina di Rosula uniform. Is it for me?
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry, so I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older.
E
But this
soprattutto
uniform
quando...
is a promise
se
that
vorrai
you can
ancora
join us
metterla
once you're
in
old enough to
spina.
wear it.
Oh, so that's it. Well, thank you so much, Miss
Beh,
Navia.
adesso...
I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can.
But you can't really grow up
Hanno
faster by working
allora
hard.
hanno trovato i
You've got to be
vecchi...
patient.
Everyone,
diciamo,
I'm really grateful
una
that you
vecchia
remembered my daughter's wish and took it
associazione che non
seriously.
andava d'accordo col padre di Navia per le questioni, perché il padre di Navia voleva costruire le linee di Jacobus. Loro no, dobbiamo pensare a costruire a fare in modo che possa sorgere, diventare grande e forte. Lui no, voglio le Aquabus, e quindi si sono separati. Da quel momento Navia ha incontrato queste persone che ce l'hanno ancora con lei e ha detto: senti, facciamo una roba, perché adesso siamo grandi adulti vaccinati, non ne parliamo con più calma, magari possiamo raggiungere un accordo invece di odiarci, visto che mio padre l'è morto, io sono diversa da mio papà. Questo è successo praticamente.
Thanks to the protection of
Riassuntone
Spina,
velocissimo.
even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
Boss!
Che paura, Florent.
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeo and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of
Ovviamente questi
explosives.
qua hanno detto no.
What?
Vogliamo fare
Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeo and his folks must have gotten wind as well, because they abandoned their former posts before we could even check on them. We investigated their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
They have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
Ho capito.
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison Gardiennage.
Sorry, I underestimated the
No,
situation.
non potevi saperlo, tu
Well,
hai chiesto di
Too late now, I
parlare.
suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Sono
Certainly
cretini.
sounds like it.
Romeo and his followers hate the Spina and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of their contention. If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and straight into Poisson.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people in Poisson!
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by.
Ma
We
basta,
have
sto
to issue
povero
an
possone.
evacuation order to the townspeople and get them as far away from the entrance
Io
as
lascerei
possible.
sto posto.
That should save them
Posso
from
io
the worst
posso
of it.
un'altra parte.
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be the safest place.
My dear partner, if the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would... Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Leave it to us, Navia.
Pensi mi.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Watch out, boss!
Ma che... Coulter, perché? Dai, mi stavi simpi.
What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Coulter, are you with Romeo too? Oh. I get it now. You knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula,
Perché
I
io?
only hate
Perché
you.
Navia? Cosa ha
Only
fatto?
you, Navia.
You better stick close to me.
Che?
Romeo promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move.
Che fastidioso lei
Romeo has lost
strisce?
his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question.
È ignara del passato. Sua madre è morta dandole la luce, poi suo padre è morto anni dopo. E che palle che siete.
You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all
Possiamo
die,
seppellirlo
little
sotto
by
Poisson?
little. And it was all because of you, Navia.
Perché?
Clementine died because of you. Callus died because of you. Melus and Silver died because of you.
Non
And
è vero.
so many more dead. Everyone dead. All because of you.
No. Loro sono morti per salvarla.
So the
Non
shock
è
and
una
grief you
colpa.
showed us before, that was an act too?
Now you're catching on. I heard Melus was dead the moment I got
Ah,
out.
madonna, è uscito.
Did you
È
know?
morto Melus.
Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened and resolving to apologize to Melus as soon as I got out. Back then, because of that aquabus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking. The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the good old days again. But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you.
È stata colpa dell'acqua primordiale. No.
I once loved the spina and poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that? Maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came.
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you.
Perché Navia deve sempre piangere?
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. But is that really why they support me?
La mia sì.
Is their kindness real?
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia. And my mom loves her too.
È vero, o anche lui.
I don't know how to explain it, but I like her. And that's that.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you right now. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here before you get buried.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the Spina di Rosula.
Suon di asciate.
This one's got your name on it.
Oh, tanzatan.
Hiya! Cha!
Feeling lucky? Ha! Ha! Watch out!
Watch out.
A proper send-off from the Spina with love. Hey there! Ha! Ooh!
Ah, che male.
Hiya! Watch out!
Madonna, che male che ha fatto veramente.
The tides beckon.
E va bene, ho ultato, volevo ultare con Navia, mi è venuto che era morto, ho ultato con Navia.
Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople.
Ma posso deve
If you
sempre
find any
evacuare,
of
porca
Coulter's
miseria.
accomplices, subdue them quickly. And don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary civilians. I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line alone.
Hi everyone.
Got it, boss. I'm on it.
Thank you for the ride.
Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know, but I have to go.
Ok. E quindi noi adesso andiamo a salvare la linea.
Let's hurry up there. We have to protect the Clementine line.
Porca miseria, ma c'è un
If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
I will do later the teapot. Not now.
This is order.
Dove devo andare? Di qui.
Go up the ship too!
bow your head.
They certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction.
Meno male. Yes, good night.
I will have order.
No, not yet, at least.
Stay cool. Face your guilt. A moment, please.
These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. How can we disable it?
I'm going to fire.
Everyone's too scared to touch any of this stuff.
Questo cos'è? Una serata.
There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for? Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's see what we can find.
Ok.
Oh, you
Che
found
culo.
it! That's amazing!
Che culo. Al primo.
That should do it, right? Navia and Florent should be able to relax now. Oh, you're right. They could have...
Cazzine? Sì. Eh sì, pure.
They're gonna bury Poisson!
Un momento. Vi che in pregi scriviamo la statua, ma li scriviamo usare tutti contemporaneamente.
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block. I'm doing this the spina way.
Sono innamorata. Letteralmente. Sono innamorata. Sono letteralmente innamorata. Navia, sposami, ora. Ho trovato la prima waifu per Yuki. Ah sì, oh sì, la prima moglie è arrivata. Oh mio Dio, sto arrossendo.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless
Non ci
of whether
capisci
their
innocenti.
hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified. Anyone
Esatto.
who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to. Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Nuvolette, Intanto sta
Sounds good.
spiegando le manine.
We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved
Ecco,
everyone!
Lumi, qualcosa di
You are so
meraviglioso.
cool.
Bellissimo.
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time.
Beh, ha usato...
It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once.
Sì, esatto.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Mangia qualcosa.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Capito? L'ha appena detto perché è stanca.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeo really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all, too. We won't have to worry about them from now on.
Ah, got it. That's good at least.
Colte, ti do un
Coulter.
pugno.
I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not Callus, and I will also never become him. The spina and the poisson that you loved are both gone. But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's
Sì,
more,
è vero.
I'd also like to propose some changes to the aquabus routes, so that one day the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons
Sono
it brings
utili,
as well.
cazzo, dai.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus would never have said anything like that. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula. But once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another
Minchia,
visit
sto
to
qua è uscito
Poisson.
una settimana fa ci
Thank
ritorno.
you, Navia.
Qui ebraio che si smanina. Coglione. No, non è vero, a lui non piace quando la gente...
As I thought. Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky person.
Io non credo proprio, lo sai?
Thank you for protecting the Clementine line.
Tutte le cose che fanno... Scusate, ho rovinato un momento.
I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
Va tutto bene.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand?
Ma ti porto in
I really
braccio.
don't have
Non mi
much
frega
strength
niente
left.
quanto pesi con tutto quello che hai addosso. Ti
Traveler.
porto in braccio.
I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth.
Voglio
Do you
questo
really
suono,
see
è
me
bellissimo.
as your partner?
Of course.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
Non ho capito, dovevamo arrivare a Fontaine per sentire più la voce di Dr. Traveler. Che palle.
How do you feel, Navia? Any better after taking a break?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more days.
Mi raccomando,
Sorry,
mangia, bevi.
partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself.
Ma va bene ogni tanto dubitare.
You could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that
Esattamente
I've
quello che
made
stavo
it this far
pensando.
in life.
Anzi,
think
che risposta? Certo.
They ever
Moglie.
regretted the choices they made? Has my existence
Non si sono mai pentiti di
made
quello
this
che hanno
world a
fatto.
better place?
Don't think like that, Navia.
Io
You've already
ripiango.
done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
A meno che non fai qualcosa di disdicevole, ovviamente, però non credo che lo faresti mai.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession as well.
Ignorante.
There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already prepared.
Però ti tiri i baffi se hai fatto qualcosa.
I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right
Sì.
now.
Don't
Non
worry.
direbbe anche tranquillamente.
This
No, no,
surprise will
she's
be a
my
pleasant
wife.
one.
Yes. Dove... basta. È bella mia moglie dormire. È successo. È avvenuto il battito di core. Anche perché di per sé sono molto simili. Lei non ha avuto, cioè, nonostante Navia voleva molto bene al padre, non ha avuto comunque un buon rapporto, mentre Yuki c'ha un bruttissimo rapporto col papà ed è ancora vivo. Si potrebbero parlare per ore sui padri, Yuki e Navia. E anche lei ha perso la mamma, solo che Yuki non l'ha persa perché quando l'ha data alla luce l'ha persa per una malattia. Cioè Yuki l'ha proprio vista morire. Credo che sia proprio molto di cui parlare queste due.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished, but special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before. So I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
Hanno fatto una statua di lei. Hanno fatto una statua di lei. Oh. Oh no, il mio cuore. Vabbè, ha preso da 2 gnocchi.
This is Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callis and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put in regarding the whole synth business.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
Oh.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's future.
We're gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory days.
That's what we believe as well.
Crederò sempre nel legame fra di noi.
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
Oh, che bella questa, mi è piaciuta, è stata bellina, 1 ora e mezza, con io che parlo ottavo, ma per il resto bella bella. No. Non è più facile da cominciare l'arancina. Ma che è stasera? Questo è il freddo e la fatica di questi giorni.
Ad Astra at... Thank you for completing today's commissions.
Allora, ho fatto robe. Allora, calma. Aquí, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 76. Arriverà? Speriamo di sì. Quando siete pronti? Devo fare un singolo, quello c'ho. No, vuole farsi veramente tanto, tanto, tanto pregare questa donna. Va bene, mi piacciono le donne così.
I once considered keeping some pets in my office, but soon gave up on the idea. It's just not right to keep small animals where they won't be able to see the sun.
Guarda, lo spero. Tanto adesso c'è anche il nuovo evento. C'è anche un nuovo evento con la nuova tipa e Ayaka finalmente che mostra questa cavolo di skin. E basta. Anche perché c'è Furina, quindi sono pronta. Cioè c'è Furina che fa da regista.
Can we play bingo next time?
Dici che esce a metà? Ah sì, è vero. Ah beh, questo è il secondo evento con la skin.
This realm is...
E questa è mia. Ok. Charlotte Chevreuse. Andiamo un letto. Furina e Navia. Oh no! Ho finito le cose. Quanta roba c'è ancora. Arena della rinascita dei pugni. Immagino a chi... Voglio proprio vedere a chi piacerà sta cosa. Voglio proprio vedere. Chissà chi piacerà questa cosa. Produzione, vabbè, questo porta libri, espositore, lettura, probabilmente questo forte proibito, immagino anch'io. In basso. Questo di radio. Telaio per porta, ma che bello. Piantana. Bersaglio del vabbè, questo lo sapevo che sarebbe arrivato. Ci sta. Ah, l'ho presa.
If you ever have any questions...
Sì. Ce l'ho. Anche di...
This realm is truly
Oh. È il momento di creare la mia villa, cioè, non adesso, ma adesso potrò creare la mia villetta sott'acqua. Guarda che bello. Oh. Meraviglia. Mi piace un botto questo posto. Anche se avrei fatto una parte sopra e una parte che va sotto l'acqua, sinceramente. Però dai, va bene anche così, anche perché ha solo... Ah no, 1, 2, 3 e 4 così. È bella, mi piace. Adesso faremo. E no, fare tutto sottomerso. Ma infatti è fatto tutto infatti è tutto sottosommerso. Sottomerso. Ok, dai, stato bello, è stato molto bello, veramente, cioè, adesso tutto...
A word of advice, don't break the law.
No, sì, sì, sì.
Is there anything else? Yeah, seriously, don't break the law.
No, no, infatti hanno fatto... è stato divertente sotto sommerso però. Vabbè, comunque sì, io vi ringrazio tantissimo, ci vediamo domani sera e per le live di Natale, che ovviamente ci sarà più a Santo Stefano, una live dopo le feste, forse domenica mattina per augurarvi buona vigilia. Ma per il resto è più Santo Stefano che ci vedremo, ma spero di fare qualcosa anche per la vigilia. Quindi ciao belli, ciao 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 ciao.